All right, in this video, we're going to look at how to convert angle measurements that are in degrees, minutes, and seconds into decimal degrees and vice versa. So if you were ever to see something like this where there's degrees and then there's all of a sudden this little 16 with an apostrophe and then 13 with the double apostrophe, this is minutes and this is seconds. Okay, so 327 degrees, 16 minutes, and 38 seconds, being very specific with our measurement here. Thing to understand is that 1 minute would be 1/60th of a degree. 1 second would be a 60th of a minute. So if you multiply those two together, 1 second is going to be 1/3600th of a degree. Okay. So if I want to convert this into decimal degrees, the way I will do that is I'm going to take 327, which is the big part, plus 16 times 1/60th. Well, that's going to be 16 over 60. Okay, so there's that many 16/60ths of a degree, plus the 38 seconds part of that. Well, that means there's 38 3600ths of a degree. Okay, I want to add these two things. This is going to be decimal. This is going to be a decimal. You add them up, we're going to have 327 point something. Okay, I'll do that 327 point something. We're going to do that on the calculator right now. So here's what it would look like if I do the whole deal together. 327 plus 16 over 60. I'll be sloppy with my lack of parentheses, but it's going to work out okay because it's dividing. And plus, what was it, 38 over 3600. And I hit enter, and there we go, 327.277. We'll round it off to that. 327.277 degrees is our label for that one. Okay, so that's going from degrees, minutes, seconds into decimal degrees. Now let's go the other way. Here I have 127.59 degrees. Here I'm going to use a little bit of proportion work. So this is going to be 127 degrees. And then I got to figure out how many minutes that would equal. Well, here's how I do that. Instead of with some proportions, I'll change my color a little bit. 59. What I really have is I have 59 hundredths of a degree. Okay, so 0.59, that's 59 hundredths. It's 0.59 of a degree, so 59 hundredths of a degree. I want to know how many minutes that is. So 59 is to 100 as x is to 60. This is the proportion that I'm going to solve first. So if I can figure this out, I'll know what 0.59 or 59 hundredths of a degree, how it matches up to a 60th of a degree, which would be a minute. So to solve this proportion, you get to cross multiply and divide. So we'll take 59 times 60 and divide that by 100, which gives us 35.4. So that means I've got 35.4 minutes. Okay, so 127 degrees and then 35.4 minute. Now I'm not going to put the 0.4 just yet. I'm going to put 35 minutes. This 0.4 part, now I'm going to make another proportion, deal with that. I'll turn that into a number of seconds. Well, 0.4, it's 4/10ths of a minute. Okay, so there are 35 minutes and 4/10ths of a minute. Well, 4/10ths of a minute would be equal to how many seconds? And again, a second is a 60th of a minute. So let's set up another proportion, do a little bit more cross multiplying and dividing. 4 times 60, well, that's 240, and 240 divided by 10 is going to be 24. So I get 24, and that's going to be a number of seconds. So we'll put 35 minutes and 24 seconds. All right, so we've just changed our decimal degrees into degrees, minutes, and seconds. Now, if all that seems too complicated, your calculator is pretty good at this. Let me show you how to do that. First of all, we'll do this one. So we're going to change. We got 127.59 degrees. All right, so I type in 127.59. I'll hit enter so that it's my previous answer. Then I go to the angle menu. See, angle is right here above apps. Second, and then apps takes me to the angle menu. Ooh, degrees and minutes, that's cool. This fourth option, triangle DMS, that means change something into degrees, minutes, seconds. So if I choose that option, 4, takes my previous answer, it's going to change it into degrees, minutes, seconds. I hit enter, I get 127 degrees, 35 minutes, and 24 seconds. which might be a bit easier than doing it by hand. Again, there's the number, same thing here in the calculator. That's pretty cool. To go the other way, because there's no seconds button that I can find on the calculator anyway, doesn't mean there isn't, but I can't find it. If I want to do the one we just did here, 327 degrees, 16 and 30. What I do is I turn this 38 seconds into a decimal. So I'd have 38 divided by 60. Okay, switch to a different color. If I take 38 divided by 60, because it's 60th of a minute, we'll just figure that out real quick. We'll take 38 divided by 60, and we get 0.63 repeating. Okay, so this is about 0.63. That one's repeating. So here's how I would do this. I'm going to type in my calculator 327 degrees. Again, there's a symbol for that. And 16.633333. I'll do a bunch of threes and put the minute symbol. Okay, that's going to keep it pretty accurate. So here's me typing that in. 327 degrees. Go to the angle menu. Choose the degree symbol. So 327 degrees and 16.633333. A bunch of these. And go to the angle menu and choose the second option. That's the minute symbol. So that many minutes. This many degrees and this many minutes. If I hit enter, should change it into decimal degrees. Oh, look at that. 327.277. Same thing we got doing it by hand earlier. So that's degrees and minutes and seconds. Now, one other thing to note as far as this particular lesson goes that wasn't mentioned in any of the other videos is the idea of the quadrants. Now, I'm sure you know this, but I'll just do it anyway. On the XY coordinate system, here's the first quadrant, here's the second quadrant, here is the third quadrant, and finally the fourth quadrant. So we're rotating counterclockwise. Typically we use Roman numerals to identify them just because Roman numerals are so cool and we don't have much use for them in anything else. So there would be the quadrants of the coordinate plane. So quadrants and degrees, minutes, seconds. There you go.